The Tangent 8 podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Tangent 8 podcast. I'm Seth, and with me is Swoosh, and at long last, and by popular demand, JONDOE is back.
Hello!
Yay!
I don't know about popular demand, but I'm here,
know.
and you got to deal with me, so suck it.
Pretty much.
Slightly annoyed my dramatic opening was interrupted by me not turning off my phone noises.
Yeah, just ignore the scrambling of all of us now putting our phones on the side.
That actually sounds about right, yeah.
So, right, as always, well, always, but is quite frequently, we're going to start with the bad news.
Yay!
Yeah, we finally have a bit of a figure on like how many people have been laid off from various companies in the first 9 weeks, and it's 8,700 people have lost their jobs in the games industry.
In the first 9 weeks of the year.
So far.
Good
That's fine.
times. There's a lot of people. That is a very saturated market for jobs coming up.
The fact that they thought there was that
Yeah.
much fat they could cut. I'm wondering what additional impact it's going to have on the industry after this point.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
assume negatively.
Yeah, because hell, we all went through the same kind of shit when we graduated.
But how much
But-
more negative can it be?
Yeah,
Like
the 2008 financial crisis.
Yeah.
the best or the biggest and best games that have come out recently have all been from small teams.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, the thing you got small teams with focused ideas, and you've got all these big companies just shedding staff while their CEOs make millions.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping these guys who have just form their own smaller groups and make games they want to make, as opposed to the corporate swill that we've been getting from the big guys recently.
But the problem you got, though, is how many people are actually in a financial position to do that.
Yeah.
That is true. It's not exactly easy to get a loan for games.
no, it used to be easy in Australia, but that got shot in the face.
Especially given that it'll take you, a year, maybe two, to push out a AA product?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Even...
And that's if you already have a good idea to start
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
And already at least some of
So,
it fleshed
getting
out.
a loan...
Starting from scratch, you're going to be looking at longer than that, plus wanting to run something, because you can't be doing that 24/7 and live.
Yeah. It would have to be a passion project and a half for someone.
Or a
Which,
group.
we might get. Yeah.
Yeah. They'd have to throw a lot of time and effort at
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. And because of all this, we've also lost a few games, haven't we? There were...
Yeah, more than one game has been cancelled, shuttered, or moved on. Or is just in a who fucking knows
Yeah.
state.
We lost a Mandalorian game. That makes me sad.
I mean, it's EA cancelling another Star Wars game.
That might as well just be their handle now instead of was it Challenge Everything?
No, right?
EA, we've cancelled another one.
You call EA and
mean,
say,
the thing
hi,
is,
this
though-
is EA, you've been cancelled.
No, it's more like that thing from South Park when they go to the bank.
Mm.
And you're cancelled.
Yeah. Just got.
The thing is, though, that Mandalorian game was being made by Respawn.
Yeah.
The guys who made Titanfall.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking
was
awesome.
Fucking mint.
So we're not talking about some studio who's never made a shooter before. You're talking about a company that made one of the best shooters.
Yes.
Yeah. And just showed they were very capable of making a good story.
Oh, God. I know we've said it before on this podcast, but, for the love of Christ, if you've never played Titanfall 2's story, fix that.
I never played Titanfall for the multiplayer. I only ever played for that story. It was good.
And the multiplayer was
I
so
might go back
good.
and replay
That's
that.
one of the few times where there's
I loved it.
symmetric, asymmetric multiplayer. Each team
Yeah.
had you could have an even team, but going on foot against the fucking mechs, that was a fucking awesome shit. They actually made
And doable.
quite doable, provided you could move enough.
Oh man!
But
If you
Well,
can
that
dive.
was the thing. They gave the pilots crazy movement
Yeah.
tech, So yeah, the Titan can like stomp around and absolutely wreck shop, but it can't hit the dude moving at 19 miles an hour.
True. Problem is, like, when I got into it, I think the multiplayer had mostly dried up, because I didn't start playing that game till way after it came out.
Yeah,
Worth playing, though. Fucking hell.
definitely.
Like,
But that's the studio and the pedigree that they took. Oh, your game that you've been working on for some time for us? Yeah, we're just not going to do that.
yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
Like, it just makes me sad, because I would love to have seen that level put into a Star Wars game.
Yeah, same. Absolutely same.
And like,
Bastards.
If there's a studio you'd want to give a sci-fi shooter to, it's
they
Respawn.
already had so much of the basics for it. Like, they already had jetpacks from Titanfall. They like the whole movement thing of Titanfall fits so fucking well.
Yeah. It would have been a very easy thing for them to transition across to. Same vein.
100%.
But now we're just not going to get that. And we should all be very sad for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right. Do we want to get on to the other set of firing that happened this week?
Sure.
I love fire.
So, Austin's YouTube music team, yeah, whole thing canned, no notice.
Yeah. As they were going to, I think it was like local government or something, to request aid for founding a union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were getting treated like shit.
In the middle of this dude's speech, one of his team members comes up and tells him, yeah, we've all been turned.
Yeah.
We've all been fired. Effective immediately. And someone, like, when they were getting the news, someone was live, like, tweeting it, essentially. Or live streaming it. So there's little clips of that going around, and it's not good. It's bad.
You got to wonder, how is
And
it
all this-
not
how
union
does-
busting? Like, really? How do
yeah.
they get away with that?
Like, that has to be just straight out, no, fuck 'em. We're cutting everything just to make sure unionization cannot be tolerated. Like, what the fuck, guys?
It certainly feels like that. And you know that that at other locations, they're like, hey man, feel free to unionize. But check out YouTube music
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
They were a sacrificial lamb, weren't they? Just
Yeah.
straight
Or,
out.
like, straight out, look what unions do for you. Oh, shit, they got no work.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't say that, but they could just casually be like, hey, but like, look at the last company that tried
Yeah,
to do
friggin' oath.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
absolute
that-
bullshit. Like, I don't know how.
It is a
there's-
very shady
Aren't there meant to be
scare
fucking laws against that shit? Like, exactly that fucking happening?
It's the
I'm
US,
pretty
so
sure-
it gets a bit whiffy. I'm not too sure.
like
what
state
this
to
is.
state
Yeah.
problem. They don't like letting the government settle law.
Like, there's ways around it, because I remember watching, I think it was a Last Week Tonight episode on union busting a while back. And yeah, it gets a bit squiffy when it gets to the state level, which is where they have to start operations, so...
Well, there's so much stuff you can do that should be union busting that isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they go, it's not union busting. We didn't bust up the union. We just turfed the entire
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
There was no union yet. It's not union busting.
Basically, they'll come back saying, oh, it wasn't making the money we wanted to, so we figured we'd just scrap it.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
had been,
then
it's
why
been in the
wasn't there
plans for a
wind
long
down?
time. Yeah.
Yeah, then why did no one know? Like, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, they can't weasel their way out of this in any direction, I think.
But they will.
It's like,
I'll try though.
it was the effective immediately that's really fucked them for. It's going to be hard to cover up after that.
Yeah, especially when you do it in the middle of the dude's speech.
Yeah. Like, he is actively going to a higher power for this. Like, nah, cut.
Like, that's an
Yeah.
actively vindictive manager who's going, are they in the meet? Like, they're talking now? Are they up on stage? Yeah, now's the time
Yeah.
if I can do it.
Yep.
That's just horrible.
Yeah.
Want to move on to potentially horrible?
Yes. Only potential. We'll find a way to make it horrible. We'll find it. It'll be good.
Oh no, it is bad, but the company never said they'd do the bad thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, what's happened, and I have heard rumors that other places are thinking of doing it, but the big one that's copping the flack right now is Wendy's in the States. They decided they wanted to use digital signage, which is pretty standard in Australia, so I
Yeah.
was a little like, why is that an issue? Oh, it's because they want to change the pricing on stuff dynamically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, their stated purpose for this is so that, one of the things that happens in a lot of fast food places, they pre-make a lot of stuff for when rushes and things like that happen. But there's a hold time. Once it goes past that hold time, you have to throw it out.
Yeah.
They want to be able to go, okay, so say we've got a bunch of, I don't know, Big Macs that have been made up. And they're about to go into the throw-out time. How about, I know that Wendy's not...
Yeah.
I don't know what Wendy's makes. We don't have Wendy's.
The only thing I know from them is Baconators.
Yes. And that their shit's all square.
Yeah. No, that's White Castle.
Sure, Wendy's does the square thing too.
Americans have weird food.
Point. We got to throw out these Baconators. What they want to do is go, okay, instead of it being full price, we're going to half price it so that we can sell these Baconators and not have to throw away product.
Yeah.
That's their stated purpose. Or, when it's quiet, we'll just lower all of the prices to make us more enticing during quiet periods.
Not going to happen.
Nah.
Yeah, but what's to stop you making those prices go up during busy periods?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Like-
and
And
the backtracking on this was fucking great.
I know, in Australia, it used, Mickey D's, that's right now is completely forgotten what it was originally meant to be. But it used to be, when I worked there, straight out of high school, or in high school, you'd make a run of, 12 Big Macs at a time, or, 24 cheeseburgers, and they'd all just sit there. And they got rid of that because they wanted to do fresh, not fast. And that was the beginning of the end for Mickey D's here. I don't know if they still do that over there, but even when we were just pumping them out, it wouldn't matter if the people aren't there to buy it. It doesn't matter how fucking cheap you make it. It's still going to get thrown out.
Pretty much. The problem is, they tried to say, it's dynamic pricing, but it is just, surge pricing is how all of the media put it forward.
Yeah, but if you have to throw that burger out after 20 minutes, and there's not really enough time for it to drop. You're just going to have customers all standing there waiting for those burgers to drop. You're like, there's 2 minutes left. I'll buy it now.
I guarantee you students would just hang around waiting for throw-out times.
Yeah. But then they wouldn't be, throw-out times anymore. It'd be this would be surge cost again.
Yeah. Oh, there's people here. We're going to keep them up.
Then you probably...
Yeah. I am very glad that the entire public for them went, go get fucked, and bullied Wendy's enough that they backed away from this so quickly.
Yeah.
I'm guaranteeing every other fast food chain was watching that and going, ooh, are they taking it? Are they accepting that?
When I first heard about this, I started hearing rumors that, Macca's and shit were like, oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. And basically, it had to be shut down there, I think. If it had been allowed to even be tested somewhere, we would have lost that entire thing.
Oh, yeah. Once it had a foot in the door, wouldn't have gotten rid of it. It just would have been the new norm.
Oh, no. Yeah. And that even if they did decide, okay, so we never go over our standard price.
Yeah.
Let's say a cheeseburger was $3. All they'll do is go, okay, the new normal price for that is $5.
Yeah.
So when you go for the throw-out price, it's $3, which is just the price it is now.
No, or they'll say
Absolutely.
the new price for a standard burger is $5, but look, we're just going to keep it at $3. And now look, the throw-out price is $2. But oh no, it's going to go back to a standard price as soon as it's a little busier.
Yeah.
It's so fucked. It's not a system that makes any sense.
No.
You're a fast food joint. I don't care how much you're proud of your food. No one who is in a good place is in your store.
Macca's has forgotten
I'm sorry.
them, I swear to fucking God.
I don't mind a cheeseburger now and then. I don't mind a bacon deluxe from a Hungry Jack's. Or the Australian equivalent of a Burger King, although apparently it kicks a lot more ass than Burger King does.
We use actual meat.
I know, right? Anytime I see Americans who come here and try Hungry Jack's, are like, this is Burger King? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, same apparently for our Macca's. Our Macca's apparently some of the best Macca's around.
Yeah, because they got a lot of trouble at one point, I think, and had to start using better grade beef.
I don't know. All I know is that I see videos of Americans coming to Australia and being like, what the fuck is your...
Because Macca's in Australia is trying to be a restaurant, not a...
Oh, I fucking hate that, yeah. Like, there are fancy as fuck Macca's here in Brisbane. There's one in, like, Queen Street Mall, which is trying so hard to be a restaurant. But I don't like it because it used to be you could go and get, like, $2 for a cheeseburger. I think a cheeseburger now is, like, $5 or $6.
I don't know.
Like, the people who need fast food can no longer afford fast food.
I know you can't get a meal for less than $20.
Yeah. Like, gone are the days where a student could, survive on, like, the cheap menu at Macca's for like, a
the
week.
dollar
And
menu at
you
Mickey
can't do
D's
that
is
now.
long gone.
Oh, yeah.
So much. I'm pretty sure even the soft serve ice creams are breaking about $2.50.
Assuming the ice cream machine works.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they're not just pretending.
It's dirty and we don't want to
it's
clean it.
Like, if they
Like,
had always
all of these-
been a place that was like, oh, we are higher grades, like, cool, then you lose the fast portion. Like, that's how this works. It's that triangle.
But they gave up the
You
fast portion a long time ago. That's what... When I worked
did,
there, they
yeah.
said we want to do quality over quickness. That was their whole fucking catchphrase. So it was all made
Yeah,
to
I
order.
don't mind that. I don't really care about that because if your food's... it's a cost versus what I get proposition. If I get a better quality, but it doesn't really change the price because now you're not throwing out all this product,
Yeah.
sure, I'll wait a little bit longer to have a fresh Big Mac. That's fine. But the Big Mac needs to cost the same as it used to.
Yeah.
It can't go up. Otherwise, we're not talking about fast food, and I may as well just go to grill.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, half the time the burgers are more or less the same cost now. Especially for Macca's new menu.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh, fuck their premium menu shit.
I love the fact it's the same, like, 3 burgers, just with, like, one gets pineapple on it now.
One has pineapple, one has tomato and lettuce, and one has just cheese.
Yeah.
But it's the same fucking burger. It's dumb. It's fucking stupid. Like, I don't mind fast food. I'm a fat bastard. I'm not going
We
to
all
pretend I
are.
ain't
No
eating up
judgment
a
here.
fast
You
food
don't
joint.
get to our size without appreciating McDonald's for something. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, we've told the story. Me and Jondo used to get fucking pounders
yeah.
back in uni.
Those were the days.
So, I appreciate fast food. But these companies aren't making it's too expensive.
Yeah.
It's not quick in, grab some dirty cheeseburgers that I know aren't any good for me and aren't even that tasty, but it's just a quick fucking cheesy.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's not that anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Hell, I used to remember when I was young, my order at breakfast in a McDonald's was 3 bacon egg muffins and a Coke. That's $25 now.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
That's insane. And everyone's like, they keep saying, oh, it's inflation. It's definitely inflation. It's like, yeah, but somewhere along the line, you started pushing that further up.
Yeah.
And even, like, we're seeing it with Coles and Woolies at the moment, because everyone's like, oh, when did the prices first get really out of hand? Like, when COVID hit. Like, that's when we started noticing.
Yeah, as soon as
'cause
they realised
everything's harder
that
to get.
people will pay it, like, people are forced
Yeah.
to, they will pay it. That you...
And now
during
it's gone...
during COVID,
like,
you
we
couldn't
can
go to a
get
mum
stuff.
and pop grocery shop. They were
Yeah,
they
they
had
had
to
nothing.
shut down. But Coles and Woolies started
Yeah.
doing click and collect, and that threw even more of them out of the market. And now you're forced to buy from one of them, and they're both jacking up prices.
They're in bed together, we all know that, but
Oh, yeah.
it was just horrible, because once that all sorted itself, like transport and getting things back into the country was easier, the prices stayed the same.
Yeah,
Like, it's like they kept saying, oh, it's hard to get things into the country. It's like, no, that's been rectified now. It's a lot easier to go across
Yeah.
state border, like
Yep.
country borders. There are no lockdowns. Can you just put the prices back down? Like, oh no, it's inflation.
no, the line must go up.
Yeah.
Like
I hate that for business, like for business
Oh
in
yeah,
any way. You should not be measuring on the line.
Like putting in like multi-billion-dollar profits, you're not there for your customers. Like you're literally
Yeah.
just there for line must go up. Fuck everyone.
Yep.
Like it's got to
I
come to a point
understand,
where
like, why
they either have to be busted up, like broken up in some way, whether they can't carry certain products or certain lines or something.
They do kind of have to do it, because I remember at one point, I think Apple almost had to split off Apple Music, because after a specific portion of a company starts making enough money, it has to be classified as a separate thing. Like, I know there was something.
Yeah,
that
but
was
that's
for it
not
to
how
spell.
Coles and Woolies run this shit.
No.
Yeah, no. But
I mean, I like there's a wonderful documentary I would absolutely highly suggest watching. I think I know we've talked about it before.
probably.
That was where they interviewed the CEOs of Coles and Woolies. And one of the things I thought was crazy that they pointed out was that Coles lies about the products it owns.
Yeah.
So they did this thing where they had this bottle of wine, and it has this wonderful big story on the back about how it's from this little region of a valley where two vicars were fighting over who could make the best wine, and there's these two churches on either side of the town, and that's where it's from, and all this kind of jazz. Never put their label on. Didn't say Coles anywhere on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's owned by the Coles
Yeah.
group, and it's completely fictitious.
There's
Like,
so
the
many
story's fake.
Like, you can't tell what is Cole's brand anymore because they don't put their name on it. Because they know if
Can't
they
look for
did,
the-
it would have to be
You
cheaper.
can't look for black and gold or home brand anymore. There'll be stuff that looks like a brand name product. Nah, that's fucking Coles.
Back in my hometown, I know that there are 3 wineries that are all owned by Woolworths, and their branding isn't on anything.
Definitely.
They're still like under the family brand, and they're sold all over the place. But at no point is there a Woolworths name or branding or anything to do with it.
Yeah.
They're just
'Cause
bought in
people
and take
used
the
to,
product,
actively
take the
avoid.
profit.
Yeah. Because when they used to be, I don't know if they were forced into having standard packaging, but they always just had standard packaging. And you always knew, that's the cheap one. And I'm pretty sure they stopped it because they realized everyone expected cheapness from that.
Yeah.
They couldn't
Yeah.
make anything. So they started doing fancier packaging. And then suddenly there was different names on things. And now they're charging more than the actual brands. Like, some of their stuff is overly expensive for what it is. Like some of their fancy pasta. Like, yeah, no, guys, that's fucked.
It's a set.
I swear to God, if I walk into a Woolies and all of the little things that tell you how much stuff is worth, now all digital, that's the day I just fucking neck myself.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
day
the day
they
I
burn. But
yeah, pretty much. That's the guillotines get rolled out and we just find them.
But there's like a whole thing behind like color theory of like black colors are usually associated for a premium product, and like silver's done for like heavier products and that kind of thing. The Coles brand tuna is in a black can and it's put right up at eye level, whereas the Serenas are like yellow, and then you've got, I think Woolworths use blue for theirs because that's also meant to be an authority color. It's just weird that they're using like these. It used to be like black and gold. You knew that's what it was. It was a cheap product. It had a white background. It had black and gold lettering. Now it's all a black product, like black packaging with a premium looking text on the front. It's like they're trying to make it a lot more of a premium product than it is. And you open it up and it looks like
and
cat
they like
food.
to bury. Yeah, they like to bury products that they don't care about.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had them before. Have you ever had Tyrell's potato chips?
I have.
They're really good.
They are really
like,
tasty.
They actually like proper crunch potato chips.
Yeah.
And I was in a Coles and it was like, oh, I'm in the chip aisle. I'll find some Tyrell's. Like, they'll be really good. They have like every other brand, all the fun colored packets, all that's up at eye level.
Yeah.
They've got all like the Skippies and shit at like kid level. On the bottom level, buried in a corner with the Tyrells. It's just like, this is the better chip.
Mine does the exact same thing.
Why are these down here? This is the superior product. It should be up high. But Coles doesn't like them, so they bury them.
Yeah.
They probably just don't make quite as much profit on it as they do as other things. But they've still got a contract they've got to uphold for a little while yet.
But it's kind of happening everywhere where it's that fake fanciness or like...
Yeah.
Because it happened... it's the boutique issue. Because that happened with like so many different cafes and restaurants in Brisbane for a while. Like...
So bad.
We got a bunch of burger joints at one point. Just everyone's doing boutique burgers. And there was nothing different about them. They were the same.
No.
Like, they weren't boutique.
Oh, they had to have some absurd gimmick to
Yeah.
make it stand out. I remember there was one place they went, but the whole thing is they had this triple patty burger, but they decided to use fat patties instead of like thin ones. And instead of bread, it was 2 grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
Which is like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
I know I'm eating it because I'm eating the dumbest thing in this restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I'm not having a good time.
No,
This isn't a balanced idea.
It's unnecessary.
It's just
Like,
stupid.
It's funny and you order it because, fuck, I'm a fat guy in a restaurant. Why would I not?
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
I
not
was
an
out with some
enjoyable
friends and we
experience.
used to go to...
Yeah.
I was out with friends and we used to go to these sort of places that had these big dumb burgers and try the big dumb burger. It's the only reason we were there. But it was like, I don't want to come back
No,
here.
this is a
this
one
isn't
and done.
even
I'm not
good
doing
food.
it again.
The only good thing we got out of that craze of weird gourmet burger places was Whataburger turning up, and they were mint. Like, I love Whataburger.
They didn't stay, did they?
No.
There's still a couple around, but not many.
I mean, I still say the best burgers in Brisbane are at Broken Heart.
Ah, yes, Broken Heart is good.
That is like absolute top tier burger joint.
Another one
But
that
then
Absolutely
another
recommend.
fad that pissed me off was charcoal in everything. Why?
Oh, fuck that shit.
That's shown to do more damage than
Yeah.
good in any study.
It turns off your medication.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking...
Fucking
Everything had active charcoal in it. Like, fuck you and your active charcoal.
like, instead
Same
of
with Manuka
eating
honey.
charcoal, light a fire and bury yourself in it.
Yes.
I fucking
It's so fucking dumb, because everyone wants to be on that new craze. But do you remember at one point there was a bunch of, like, gourmet hot dog places popping up?
Yeah.
They're hot dogs. You can't make them fancy.
No, you can't. You just
Sausage
really can't.
bread, done. Sang
Right.
it.
And some of them came up with a side drink of hot dog water. It's like, no.
Oh,
no,
God.
that's just
Oh.
stupid.
that's
Don't
terrible.
do that.
Why?
That's terrible.
Who thought that was
Also-
a good idea?
Come on, you can't do a boutique hot dog place because everyone in Australia knows the best sangers are bought from the fucking Lions Club in front of a bunny.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yes. Like,
But
I
even,
don't
like,
know what...
even the old Bunnings snag, they're all going up in price.
Yeah, they are. They used to be $1. Now I think it's like $2.50, $3.
$2.
$2.
I was there last
Yeah.
weekend.
And
that's not too bad.
which
like,
is really fucky because you don't like if you're running that charity that week that sells the Bunnings snag, you can't go out and
It's at
buy
price.
whatever snags you want and have it there. Bunnings supply the snags. So you're selling
Yeah.
a Bunnings product and Bunnings is giving your charity a cut.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Like, they monopolized the snag.
Yeah.
Bastards.
because I know back home, like before Bunnings was supplying the snags and drinks, like you'd have people they'd call up to a butchery, they'd order 300 or whatever it is of whatever snags they wanted, and
Yeah.
certain people
Yeah.
like certain butcheries, so sometimes it'd be more popular than others. So Bunnings tried to, this is all you get now, and
Yeah.
it was shit because Bunnings would get the cheapest fucking snags they could.
They got the Coles and Woolies, like,
Yeah.
snags. The giant packets of them.
See, the bizarre bit about that is it would make sense if I was running a Bunnings to, I don't know, have the better snags, because maybe people come for the
Right.
snags, and then, well, I'm at Bunnings, so...
Or,
Yeah.
or like, I don't
The
know,
amount of times
you're
I've been to Bunnings stores.
You're a Bunnings. Talk to the local butchery and get freaking 200 from each butchery, because then you're supporting a local
Yeah.
fucking business.
And they just put a little thing on the table saying where you got
Yeah.
the snags from. Bam, done.
But that would require, like, forward thinking and not trying to turn a nice thing into a money grubbing
Yeah.
scheme.
Like,
Would you
actually,
like to talk about some other things that are not doing
oh,
that?
please, because
Definitely
we
not
are
doing
not
that,
just a
or-
food podcast. We do talk about other things.
I swear we do.
Good. Speaking of, like, companies not doing the money grubby thing, I know we've talked about them a lot, but, I mean, we're going to have to talk about Helldivers again.
Yeah.
Well,
And there was this one video that a gentleman put up, and I think it points out exactly why Helldive, one of the big reasons Helldivers is doing so well. Unlike these other content setups like, you know, Call of Duty, where they're like, you'll buy the new maps and stuff for us to have cool content and whatnot. Helldivers has basically gone, here, have a good game.
Yeah.
Go have fun. You don't have to pay us anymore.
I love the way that they've done live service correctly, in the fact that it's less of, oh, we're doing this now. It's, those fucking sneaky automatons have come out of nowhere and smacked you in the face. Are you going to stand for that? And then the entire
Hell no.
group is like, God no, how dare they? Let's go fuck up their shit.
But like
it has
even a quote from one of the lead developers, like, you have to earn the right to monetize. Like, you have to produce a good game, and once you've got a good game, then add shit in that people might want to buy. Not just from the get-go, or have it in there before the game is even fucking out.
Yeah. I mean, that sort of mentality killed Payday 3.
Yeah.
It really did. Fuck, that was annoying.
They decided to over-monetize and carve it up and sell it to you later.
Yeah.
They also don't allow upgrading, which I think is dumb.
It really is.
So when you buy Payday, you can buy it at the normal price, get the silver package or the gold package, which include DLC amounts.
Yeah.
You cannot upgrade after your initial purchase to the silver or gold package.
Yeah.
You are now locked into buying all the DLC at full price.
Yeah.
People were upgrading their copy of Helldivers to the, I can't remember what the Super Citizen pack.
I think it is, yeah.
Just to support the dev.
Yeah.
They're like, I paid $40 for this. That's too little. Can I give you more money?
So do you need more money? Can you just make more fun thing for us if we give you the money now? And yes, they will do that thing.
Give me a pay money
so
to
far
make
they're
good
already
game
ran-
button.
Yeah.
You know what I find really weird, though, is the fact that the community for Helldivers so far has just been top-notch. Like, apparently you can go entire days playing pub matches without one racial slur being yelled at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there is one guy who turned on
actually
his squad.
okay.
Yeah. One guy had turned on his squad and is now murdered on sight every time he logs into a game.
Because people didn't know that your samples were, like, collected by everybody.
Yeah.
So he thought he had to take them himself. So at the landing pad, he murdered his entire squad just to get their samples.
Just to get the samples and leave. And since then, he's been having a bad time. So, like, little pantheons and canon start forming in the subreddit, which is unhinged, by the way.
It's so good.
It's so much fun.
Even if you don't play Helldivers, like, check out the subreddit. It's fucking gold.
It's got some good stuff on there. But yeah, they've done it really well, and the community for once has responded to this and gone, alright, this is a good thing. We're keeping it good for now.
Yeah. And so far we're seeing, like, content rollout isn't like, alright, cool. See you in 3 months. We'll think about doing something, and you're going to pay us. No, they're looking to roll out the third enemy faction and mechs for free.
Yeah. Not just that, but they've been sprinkling them into random games.
Yeah.
Like, they've been sprinkling
because
potential things they want to test out into random games. Like, you can get squad vehicles randomly spawning in places now. Like, that's amazing.
It's because the game has a back end which allows devs to watch a game and then alter it. So, yeah. People have been loading into games, and then just a mech drops, and they're like, yeah, go play with the mech.
Yeah. That is the greatest way to hype a live service that I have ever seen.
Or to actively play test it.
Also,
to throw it out there and then let the whole world see it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they even kept their coming soon message for the mechs in universe.
Yeah.
Because instead of being like, oh yeah, like, see you in a couple weeks and we'll put mechs in the game, they pointed out that the processing factories on a planet are spinning up to produce mechs. They'll be released soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kept it all within the internal canon of the game instead of just being, see you in 3 weeks.
My favorite thing as well is because when you're on your ship, there's that big propaganda screen. I'm just looking forward to more, like, random things for that, because you know they're going to make an advertisement for it. Yeah. Like, I want to start seeing, like, advertisements for the stratagems. I think that'd be really fun. They can have a lot of fun with that entire setup.
But
it's really
even
good.
in the game, like, having that little mini game off the side to practice your stratagems, like, throwing out. That's just a fucking awesome way of making people, like, interact with a part of the game which you normally have to interact with in almost a panic as shit is coming at you, to actually give you a muscle memory and to look at it and go, this is what I'm going to do. I just think that's...
But then you can still make it you can make that into a game with your buddies, though, because you can go over and run it, and it'll give you a score. And then your buddies can try and beat that score.
Yeah. I love
just,
the fact
it's got every corner has, like, a shining light of smart development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have done very well, and a lot of care and time went into this game. It's like, I'm going to support this for as long as I can. This must be reinforced. Like,
At some point,
Like in Australia,
the large developers have to look at this game and say, why have the last 3 biggest games that have come out been made by small teams, and why have they been so fucking popular?
yeah, like, was it Baldur's Gate as well? Was a small dev team, and that blew itself out of the water.
Larian's gotten pretty
They
big
have
at this point.
now,
but
but they're not the
independent.
size of Bethesda, EA, like
Yeah.
the massive developers out there. They're still relatively smaller teams that just make a game that they want to make.
But it's like most people, when they think small team, they think like 40 people.
Yeah.
Larian's more like 200 people. But it is still an indie studio. They're completely self-financed and actually told investors to go fuck themselves.
Oh, yeah. Was it Pal World as well? Has now forced Pokemon to lift their game. Like,
Fucking
the
hope
new
so.
release, or the new, like, trailer for the next gen has dropped. And they're bringing back, like, Mega Revolutions, that kind of stuff. Just going back to the basics.
Good.
Like, they basically...
Vegas were a good idea.
They have smacked open the do not read comment section that they have and started reading what people have been wanting for years. And gone, alright, we'll finally make that game that you guys all have been screaming at us to make. Completely unprompted, by the way. We weren't, scared about Pal World at all.
Well, after the dumpster fire that was
it's-
the last fucking games that came out, not the ones that weren't Arceus. I don't even remember what they fucking were. They were that terrible.
Scarlet and Violet.
That one, yeah.
The one where your legendary is given to you at the start of the game, and it's a motorbike.
Yay. But
So dumb.
it was so dumb. But this one, it's meant to be the same as Arceus. It's a single region, kind of mapped out in the same way Arceus was. It's like, okay, but if you fuck this up, you're going to be losing your entire people.
Well, I mean, like, you've got too many decent alternatives.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Temtem, you've got Koromon. I'm not a big fan of Palworld, but all other people are. There's another game that's come out in the same vein as Palworld, but without the monster murder. Like, people are spoilt for choice to play that idea,
Yeah.
but not pay Nintendo.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, if they had just listened to us years ago, they would have been leading that charge. But no, they're playing catch up.
Oh, side note, just because I've been reading it a lot this week, a lot of people seem to be getting really narky at Nintendo for having taken down the Yuzu emulator.
Why?
And, like, well, because they think it's, like, this massive attack on emulation. And they were making money about circumventing Nintendo's property. That gets you smacked.
Yeah, no, like absolutely. You can't make money on someone else's property and expect to get, circumventing the security into their property even, without expecting to get fucked over. Like, other emulations they don't like, but they leave them alone because they're not making money off them.
But
they'll keep trying occasionally.
there's a very easy way for Nintendo to stop this. Just release a fucking back catalog store and have the games at fucking $5 a pop.
Yeah. Release your own emulator, make money on the side, and be done with it.
I mean, that's what they've said they're gonna do, but, that's what the whole thing when they took down the eavesdrop for the 3DS.
Yeah.
It was like, that was your that.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, so many of these things are pitching Nintendo as the bad guy here. No. Yuzu did the wrong thing.
Yeah.
They took money.
Like, because I have seen that popping up around, like, certain stores. Like, they are attacking this. Like, no. I thought it was, like,
They're
one or
within
two
the right
outliers,
to.
but no, apparently it's more.
No. I've seen a number of articles pitching Nintendo as the bad guy.
Fucking...
Because they phrase it all around, but this is all about game preservation. No.
There are other ways to do
They
it.
took money to circumnavigate security protocols on someone's product. That's not okay.
Yeah. Also, the games won't be lost. We already have emulation. Like, they're secure.
I mean, two
guys.
new emulators turned up straight after.
The
Nuzu
the
and
3DS
something
emulator.
else.
Yeah. Like, they're everywhere. You can't get rid of emulators. They'll pop up like weeds. Just don't try and make money off them. You won't.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like,
Sorry, I just wanted to throw that in there because you mentioned Nintendo, and it's just like, this is such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Don't you understand why they got smacked?
Like that, I think just comes down to people wanting a like David versus Goliath-esque kind of narrative. Whereas like, oh no, they're taking down the little guy. We have to go for the little guy. Like, no, the little guy was wrong in this case.
Yeah.
He was a little pyromaniac burning the village down, and the giant came along to stomp it.
The little guy was throwing rocks and stealing shit. It needed to be smacked down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Assassin's Creed Black Flag's numbers have been doing pretty well lately.
Why
God,
wouldn't
I
they be,
fucking love
really?
that.
It is the far superior game, and it's almost like, it's over 10 years old now, almost.
Yeah. Like, honestly,
There
I'm
was
tempted to rip it back out of storage and play it again.
All right. There was a minor uptick in players pre the launch of Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
Then Skull and Bone came out, and I mean, this article says 200%, but like I've heard other things that say it's even higher than that. Of people just being like, "Fuck this," and just going and playing Black Flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. All we wanted was the assassin shit taken out and give us a new area
Pretty
to
much.
expand into. We didn't want this quadruple A game that you kept alluding to. Like, just give us the thing.
At this point,
I mean,
quadruple A, I
best-
think, just means, fuck.
I think that's what it's been cemented as in the meta now, and I want
mean-
to see someone else try and say quadruple A.
So one of the things I think is most telling about it, though, and I would highly suggest going watching Skill Up's video on the Skull and Bones for it.
Good video, actually.
There's a section where he's explaining what happens during a mission segment. You get a cutscene talking to a dude, and he's like, "Okay, I hate this one fucking guy. You need to go mess with him. So I want you to go raid his ships. So you go and kill the ships. You don't see anybody. You take the ships, go back. Oh yeah, so that guy's still a problem. I need you to go take down his textile facility. So you go and you siege the textile facility and take down some boats, and then go back. And then he's like, okay, now you're gonna go kill that guy for me. So you go out, you blow up his ship, you see nobody, you go back, and then he's like, good work. So in this entire thing, you've just blown up some ships.
Yeah.
You've never met this guy. You've never even seen a picture of him. You just had some dude being like, I hate that guy.
Yeah.
How is this quadruple A? You couldn't even throw up a wanted poster?
Nothing.
I think they add an A for every 2 or 3 times the game gets delayed.
Probably. That would.
It was
not
only going to be
surprise
an
me.
A title, but they delayed it 3 times. They had to throw another A on there, then another 3 times, another A. And
It's just horrible. Everything I've seen for that game, not a single person has ever said it was entertaining enough to hold them there, or in any way good. Like, hell, I was gifted a free key by a mate. I still haven't bothered taking it. I don't want it on my PC. I feel like it would sully the hard drive.
I want that fucking malware on my system.
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, at all. We've said it so many times on this podcast, we have no idea what the fuck they were thinking.
But it's another example of a big developer trying to throw something out, saying, if we build it, they will come, and people just don't turn up.
The cookie cutter way of gaming, I think, is at an end. Because we got
I think
sick
the
of the
best-
same shapes. Like,
Let's face it, I think the best example of that is the Suicide Squad Killer Justice.
Yeah.
oh god,
That
was
is
a
as
shit
cookie
show.
cutter as you can get.
Yeah. If you could even get the fucker to run. Like,
Oh no, that one actually didn't have that bad a launch.
there was a few that were not doing well, because I think some ordinary gamer, like Mudaha, got stuck on tutorial. There was a known bug.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
You couldn't get through the tutorial. Like, you were just
And there was a
stranded.
known bug where you'd start the game and then immediately cutscene at the end of the game.
Yeah. So basically, it would spoil the game for you.
Yeah.
But,
But I mean, like that is so live service. It hurts.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, the fact it even kills its own ending to go, you gotta do this 16 more times.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so stupid. And right now, due to the tumbling player base, there's a lot of questions about whether they'll even bother finishing the predicted first season.
Oh, they won't.
Because no one's gonna be fucking playing
They're
it.
going to can it. The same way
Wouldn't surprise me.
there was a It was like a Team Fortress 2 ripoff, but with Batman years ago. Gotham. It wasn't Gotham Knights. It was,
it was that team-based shooter that was.
Yeah. Like, I enjoyed that game, but at the same time, it died out the arse because it didn't have enough players, and they just ditched it. Like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, live service, I get, is the new thing. Previously, it was battle royales, and now it's just going to be live service.
I don't know. Live service feels like it's dying.
It's on the way out.
The consumer base is seeing the word live service the same way they see the word loot box.
Yeah. It has got a bit of a stank to it now, which I'm okay with. Because
After so many massive...
Well, I'm sort of glad that Sony's sort of woken up that little bit, like, after all the live service titles that they've decided to axe, and how much of a flop that Destiny 2 has become. Like,
yeah.
I'm hoping they'll go back to their third-person adventure games that I actually want to play.
That'd be great. See, it kind of reminds me of the South Park Chin Pokemon episode.
Yeah.
Like, basically what's happening is when the parents got into Chin Pokemon. And it's like, it's not fun anymore. So once, like, the old fogies start fucking with it, the trend is no longer fun. So, by the AAA gaming things trying to do their own and fumbling, they have freed us from this horrible thing.
Thank you.
They've done something right.
So, shall we move on to the arguably big thing that happened literally happened today?
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you guys care, but, like, legacy-wise, I do. Rooster Teeth is shutting down.
Yeah, like, I honestly thought they'd already shut down. Not going to lie, I haven't watched anything from them for years, but it is sad that a industry, like, these guys were at the start of the internet, essentially. Well, start.
Yeah, I mean, they basically are the reason most people know what the fuck Machinima is.
Yeah, absolutely. They were titans in their little bubble. And some of the other stuff they did was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I only
at the
really
same
remember
time,
them from Red versus Blue, and I didn't really know that they did that red, yellow, black, white.
Ruby.
I honestly had no idea they made that. I only knew they did Red versus Blue. So beyond that, I thought they were done.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, apparently they're keeping the podcast section of the business.
There's actually a couple of things. So the actual Rooster Teeth studio is done.
Yeah.
They're keeping the podcasting arm together for now.
Yeah.
Decision pending. And we might see some of the Rooster Teeth products show up again because the company that Warner Brothers owns them.
Yeah.
May actually sell some of those off. So you might see the shambling corpse of Red versus Blue show up again, but by some other company.
Like in the Halo TV show.
Great.
If they did like a
what
lower
I want
decks,
is a competing TV.
if they did a lower decks version of the Halo TV show with the Red versus Blue cast, that would be worth watching.
That'd be fucking great. That'd be or just be better at being Halo than the Halo TV show.
It already was.
Yeah. It would be entertaining. Just have them, like, live action version, just keep the original writing for it. Like, we're doing it better. Fuck you.
Look, it's just a shame because, as you say, they've been around for ages. They've been a pillar of internet online content for so long.
They were grandfathered in, essentially.
Yeah.
Like,
and now, after 21 years, off a company that, like, a couple of guys in a fucking tiny room with an Xbox kicked off.
Yeah.
That company, after 21 years, is dead. But it lasted 21 years
They did
from that
well.
start.
And they are renowned in the field. Like, they're going to have no trouble going into other things if they want to, sure. But why are they... What was the actual reason they shut down? Did they give...
Warner Brothers just shut them down.
Yeah.
They're owned by WB.
Yeah, but, like, did Warner Brothers say why? It's just like, yeah, we're done.
Cutting costs.
They're unprofitable to them. And that's not that surprising.
Considering they've been out of the meta for a while.
I mean, yeah, and most people who liked Rooster Teeth liked it for Red versus Blue, and they haven't done a decent Red versus Blue season in a while, and they did that travesty that was Red versus Blue Zero.
Yeah. That's where they
where
started trying to
went
get
super anime.
They tried getting really philosophical in some of the later seasons as well. It's like I wanted dumb fun things. Please put that back.
I didn't mind some of the philosophical stuff. It was fine, but it was just fine. It wasn't good.
Yeah, they also did kind of get screwed over by their fight choreographer passing away, and
yeah, Monty Ohm dying was a big hit.
And to be honest, like the seasons like 2, 3, and 4, I think were the ones he worked on.
Monty Ohm didn't start until season 9.
Oh, that must have been something else I'm thinking of. But
because the final fight scene between the Red versus Blue crew, Red versus Blue crew, and Tex was the first fight scene he did.
That's right. And then those like ending sequences became like amazing. The final fight of each season was brilliant. And then, unfortunately...
And that's what he brought through into Ruby, which was Monty Ohm's pet project.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to pretend the early animation in that show was great. It's actually pretty trash.
Yeah.
Like, none of the background characters are colored in. They're just black blobs.
Yeah.
And most of the characters move across the landscape at the wrong speed.
They really do.
Like, someone could be running and it looks like they're just, like, running in place because they wanted them to move slowly.
Yeah.
But they didn't change the animation.
But then the fight scene would
bad.
happen and everything would sync perfectly.
It might not have always been the best animation even there still, but there was a nice level of dynamicism.
Yeah.
And, yeah, once Monty was gone, that all left too.
Which,
for a lot of people like me, that was like, cool, that's it, we're out.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
That was the point that I stopped engaging with, like, Rooster Teeth, their content, essentially.
That was also when they started to be like, we don't want to put it on YouTube anymore.
Yeah.
We're not making enough money. Come pay us $5 over on our website.
You know who actually did that correctly? College Humor.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they did. Dropout TV is the shit.
I stopped watching College Humor for a long time, and then they redefined themselves on a different website, and it's just, this is actually really fun. Dropout's amazing.
Well, they came in with, like, high-quality content.
Yeah.
Though. I will admit, like, I think the thing that really gave them the shot in the arm was Dimension 20.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Brennan is an amazing DM, and they had so much wonderful content.
Yeah.
Then you factor in their other shows like Game Changer, Make Some Noise, Dirty Laundry, the news thing they do, and there's plenty of other content that I don't even watch. And it's like this, it's all super high quality.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And what they did the smart thing is they put a bunch of that out, like the first couple episodes, on YouTube.
Yeah,
yeah.
The first 2 or 3 episodes of things.
Watch,
yeah.
Smart move.
And some of it they put out whole seasons.
Yeah.
To just like, this is what we're offering you, come hang out. But what they also did is if you have a YouTube membership and you subscribe to them, you get all the content that's on their website, on YouTube.
You basically
if you don't want to go and make a
cyber.
Dropout account, you can just sub them on YouTube.
Yeah. It's
I
great.
mean, it's a paid subscription, but still, you can just stay on YouTube. You don't have to go to their website.
But like we finally
but I
convinced
would. It's better.
JONDOE to like watch their Dimension 20 stuff or listen to that in the background. And I love sending people to watch that after all their introduction has been is like Critical Role or one of the more serious ones.
Yeah.
Because that has a different niche. That's voice actors getting into character.
See, I'd never
and doing
watched Critical
things that
Role.
way.
I'd only ever seen the
It's
shorts
not
of this,
bad.
and I wanted to watch it from that.
The great thing is with Dimension 20 is it's comedy writers who are playing characters, and it's that strange little like mix between them. And Mercer and Brennan apparently are friends, which is interesting to know. The DMs just know each other, which is great.
All DMs know each other.
Yeah, they do.
And they're all forever
I really
DMs,
enjoy
they'll
it.
never DM for each other.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, JONDOE, what's been your favorite Dimension 20 season so far?
Candy. That's
Candy Kingdom was pretty good.
I've hopped
Yeah.
a few of the series and seasons
Crown
of it,
Candy.
but just that whole Candy saga is just like, it becomes epic on a scale that's hard to explain.
My favorite thing, and no one who has ever listened to it will know the context, but the carrot being interrogated by the chocolate rabbit, only for him to whisper in his ear, "Where's your bulb now?"
Yeah. Oh.
My favorite one will be always the thing where Murph's character falls off in the dairy ocean.
Yes!
And thinks he's gonna die because he's in full plate armor.
Yeah.
And then he gets to use a special character trait that was made for him by Brennan to fuck Brennan over.
Yeah.
And save himself. And it's like, yes! That's what we're talking
It sounds like
about.
it was like a cover move, wasn't it? It's like he could...
He has the ability that, because he's a
royal
guard knight,
Yeah.
he can move. If one of the royal family is about to take a hit within 30 feet of him, he can automatically move in place and protect them from it.
Yeah.
Someone attacked someone in the royal family while he was drowning. He was within 30 feet, so he was allowed to use that ability to pull himself out of the water onto the boat and not die.
I love that.
That's an amazing example of a DM who just says, yes, okay, let's do that. Like, because there could have been so many other iterations, like, you're drowning, you don't know this is happening. Like, how much attention do you really have on what's happening around you? You're fucking drowning.
Brendan still follows the rule of cool, which I love.
Yeah.
Like, every so often the rules take a back seat because we're doing a fun thing now. And that's my favorite way of DMing.
Yeah.
And it's why I think I mesh really well with Brendan's technique.
Yeah. He's very much
I
yes
just wish
and
I could
or
see
yes
what
but.
Brennan would do with Savage Worlds.
I've been waiting for him to
Yeah,
do...
Brennan with the Savage Worlds rulebook would be amazing.
Yes,
Yeah,
I would.
I've been waiting for him to do like alternate TTRPG styles, like not so much 5e. I haven't seen many of them.
They are moving away from it a bit, I think.
They did it for Starstruck.
Yeah,
They did it for Misfits and Magic. Shriek Week had a different system as well. Court of Fey and Flowers, I think, was completely custom.
Theirs was a homebrewed.
Or heavily modified.
Yeah. But like, I would happily
They've done
watch
a
them
few
do
seasons.
something with the Savage World system because it would be so easy for them to pick up and do.
I mean, a game system that's entirely designed around Fast Furious fun. Let's fucking
Oh,
go.
fuck yeah, that's great. Like, because I tried, like, sometimes you get groups or streams for D&D that just don't mesh well. But I don't think we've really had too many of those. You get occasional characters in Dimension 20 who don't gel too well. But most of them pretty good.
Or it might be, like, your personal opinion. You
Yeah.
might not like that character that much.
Honestly, because I
remember...
I got told to watch a One Piece D&D playthrough on YouTube by a mate. And it's not bad. I won't say it's bad, but they're not animated enough for the pirate section. But they have a follow-up game where they play Marines, and I enjoy that so much better because their personalities actually fit the role they're playing for once. Like, they weren't being chaotic enough in the pirate campaign.
I think that's like I think in Dimension 20, the best example I can think of, off the top of my head, is Unsleeping City. Particularly Season 1 of Unsleeping City. Because you have all these interesting characters. You have, Lou's character who's weirdly connected to a dragon.
Yeah.
And
The dragon
has
in
all
the
these
subway.
abilities. And, Murph's character is a sentient rat.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a man who got turned into one, but he's still a rat. Siobhan is an elf and all this kind of stuff. And, I mean, the most normal character was Emily's, but eventually she's basically Fran Drescher if she decided to learn to box.
She's just Staten Island,
housewife type
housewife
deal.
kind of thing. Yeah, just who's also a monk, and it's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And then you have Allie's character, who's a druggie,
Yeah.
and just wants to keep talking to people about drugs.
Yeah.
It's like, this doesn't mesh.
Eventually, like, they did change slightly to a different kind of character, but it's like, come on.
It was not a good intro.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it ruined the season or anything, and I did end up not hating the character after the whole thing was done. It was a bad start. It did not feel like it had the kind of creative fantasy vibe everybody else had.
It's also one of those things where you just kind of... It breaks the immersion, because, like, why is this person with them? Like,
Yeah.
these characters probably wouldn't look after these. Like, the most fireman, whoever fireman, would not be putting up with this drug dealer.
Fucking Zakayama's characters are almost always gold.
I love the fact that his summoned mount is not actually a mount. It's just him running with a Dalmatian.
He's just known as Mr. March.
Yes, Mr. March.
That's his page in the Fireman's calendar.
Sorry. Season 2.
Jack's characters I could go on about forever. Like, his Orc in Fantasy High was great. That one was good. His Chocolate Rabbit ends up being one of the best characters in Crown of Candy.
The Orc in Fantasy High was great just for the fact that he was a barbarian whose rage wasn't rage, it was anxiety.
Yeah.
It's like, I love this. This is great.
And I love that, like, really quickly on it became a bit that, like, if he rolled bad on, like, investigation checks, he thought people were his dad.
Yeah.
You can't be sure, but you think this dwarf might be your dad.
Oh, I love that. It was so good. But that's what I mean, like, comedy writers in that setting, I find far more entertaining than, voice actors, who is still fun in their own right, and I have listened to some of their stuff. Just doesn't hit me the same.
Yeah.
The ADHD brain wants more entertainment now.
Long way to get back around to the original topic. Yeah, Dropout made a College Humor turned into Dropout TV, and it's an amazing streaming service.
Yeah.
Unlike Rooster Teeth,
Yeah.
who basically killed their own brand.
Rooster
Yeah.
Teeth, just, it was a lot of subpar stuff at the
That,
end.
and they stayed in their own
mostly-
pigeonhole. They didn't really expand out to try different things. They just, this is what we're doing, this is all we're
And then
doing.
there was all of the controversy that was happening toward the end of their run, which certainly probably wouldn't have been helping as far as Warner Bros. Was concerned.
There was a lot of stuff coming out being a very toxic workplace to work in, and
Toxic place, lots of crunch. There was the sexting scandal where one of the guys was actually accused of grooming.
yeah.
There was the staffer who, as they were doing they were going through transition, and people called them a faggot.
Yeah.
But because they couldn't say that on air, they called them fugs, which was just a in-house shortening for calling them a faggot.
Yeah.
And they did it so often that fans would come up to that creator and call them fugs, not knowing what it meant.
Yeah. That's kind of fucked. Like,
That's fucked.
this was a company that was at the end of its lifespan anyway. Like,
Yeah.
they had stagnated a while ago. We hadn't seen anything really different from them. We've seen other things like Team 4-Star at the moment is still kind of stagnating. Like,
Look, they decided they were done with the project that made them famous.
yeah.
But they moved on to other projects,
Yeah.
so it's like, whatever, guys. You do you. You're getting legitimate voice acting work.
Yeah.
Fucking go for it.
Which is great. But, they're more of a graceful fall as opposed to Rooster Teeth, which just kind of dropped off. Like, I don't even remember what other stuff they have, apart from the podcast.
And they have a lot of those now. There's
Yeah.
not like one or two. Because it used to just be the RT podcast and the gaming one they did.
Yeah.
And now they've got like one where they sit around and drink, and the achievement guys have their own one. There's like 4 or 5. There's like 5 or 6 podcasts they do now.
Look, if we ever do a spin-off podcast, the drinking one does sound like fun.
Drinking at burger joints.
I mean, if we ever get big enough that we can support a podcast where you drink, because you can't advertise on that.
Yeah. That we'll do a streaming one. Just Helldivers. It'd be great. Drink every time you kill one of your teammates. Bye.
So we're just going to be plastered 8 minutes in.
Oh, absolutely. Our entire squad has given up on the fact that, not trying to kill each other. If you're in the way of my rockets, I'm just still going to fire now. I'm taking that charge.
You just need to
with
be
you.
aware of what's
Yeah.
around you. It's your fault. Shouldn't have been there.
Well, yeah, that's generally at the start
Yeah.
we're grumpy at each other, and it's like, dude, you dived into my bullets.
Yeah.
Don't blame me anymore.
Don't run through my sightlines, man. Jesus. Turn around, see certain people in our friend groups like, well, I'm about to die.
Oh, hey, you dropped a stratagem at my feet. What is it? 380. Fuck.
At that point, I just salute and wait for death.
and then get hit by nothing because the 380 can't hit the broadside of a barn.
380 is trash.
It absolutely is. It is the most worthless stratagem.
Though apparently,
I've never seen it do work.
this latest update reduced the size but increased the damage. It doesn't have as big a spread anymore.
I mean, that's good. It might be worth bringing once in a while. I'm still not gonna.
The same thing
we'll leave it
happened
up
to
to,
the 120, I think it is.
That's good. The 120 was actually useful.
Yeah.
If it's got a tighter spread now,
Ooh.
that's
Yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah, we can actually use that to take out camps.
Yeah, people crack the
That thing
shits
was
with the
a
latest
little
update.
inconsistent, but pretty good.
Yeah, people
This is
crack the
how much
shits
we
with the
like
latest
this
one
game.
because
We are
it
strategizing mid-podcast.
Yeah, it messed with the railgun. It's no longer a catch-all weapon anymore.
Oh, no. Wait, what? Can it still take out a charger with one hit?
It reduced the
Wait, are we talking about the...
the railgun.
The orbital one? Or the...
No, the hand,
Yeah.
like the character
Oh, okay.
handed one. So it's
I don't care, I don't use it.
it used to be like it'd kill anything in a couple of shots, but now the standard fire is massively reduced damage, and now you have to use it in unsafe mode to kill anything in 2 to 3 shots, whatever it is. But yeah, people are cracking the
I
shits
mean, that's not a
because
bad
it's
idea
no longer
because
a meta.
no one was using the... Yeah, no one was using the unsafe mode for that gun. It was like, why? Why risk myself being blown up when I can just
Yeah,
shoot everything with it?
but now you have to use
the
the
one I use
unsafe
more often
mode
is
to
the
get the same
orbital
effect
shoot.
as what you used to.
Yeah, like, basically the orbital's a part of all of our constant stream of stratagems.
Oh, we're joining this game? Orbital railgun.
Like, I love it just because you drop in and it's like, oh god, there's a charger. No, there's not.
Yep.
It's like, I'm just going to remove that.
The amount of times we've been running around, oh, hey, there's a charger, and someone just yelled out, I'm deleting it now.
Yeah. I just like when someone doesn't see it coming up behind them, you throw that stratagem and kills them and tumbles over. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you're welcome.
Or everyone panics at the same time, and you see 4 railgun lasers line up on one charger.
Yeah. Or the fact that we found out that chargers somehow take priority over titans. That was a fun day.
Yeah. Like, how is the big, giant thing we're hunting for this mission not the primary target for the railgun?
The best part is, no one who has not played Helldivers will know what we're talking about at this point.
I've played a
Everyone's
tutorial
played
and a
Helldivers.
single mission. That's it. That's my entire Helldivers experience.
Oh.
Even JONDOE's played it, so
Honestly,
everyone's played this
I
fucking
don't even
game.
have
we
a
finally get
PC
JONDOE on?
at the moment.
Yeah. When we finally get JONDOE on, like, a game, we have to do a Titan run. I want to see his reaction to a
hell.
Titan.
Unfortunately, it'll never be like when we did it, because now we know what made the fog.
Yeah. The atmospherics were great.
Though that's also another
so
thing they're adding.
potential.
Environmental dangers. Now you can spawn in on a world and it may have fire tornadoes or meteor strikes or any one of
I
a
saw the
few
fire
other
tornado
things.
thing. That's going to be horrifying. I love it.
God, can you imagine in the smoke while you're looking for the fucking mushroom, just a fire tornado goes past?
Oh god, the horror. The thing is, like, this is the only game where I'm excited about the fact that they are throwing shit to
Yeah.
fuck with us.
What? They're making the world more dangerous? Fuck yeah!
I'm just waiting for the entire fan base to start calling the company that made Helldivers daddy. That's what's going to happen soon.
That would be Arrowhead Studio.
Arrowhead. But we're all secretly masochists for this game, apparently. It's like, they're gonna fuck us over more? Fuck yeah, let's do this. Helldiver difficulty. Dive in.
I mean, people keep going back to Malevolent Creek.
Yeah. Like, we
Or
always
as it's commonly known by the player base, Robot Vietnam.
Yeah, this is like RoboNam. It's amazing. I love the fact there's edits out there just with like the old school music playing in the background. It fits far too well.
Look, you want to go really make that shit? Go find a bunch of Vietnam era playlists, particularly something like Fortunate Son, and just play that over the top of your game, and like it'll change the vibe.
I love that the grandfather gamer is actually joining the fight for Helldivers. Like, he's an ex-veteran. I found this guy
that
back.
guy, yeah.
He's an ex-veteran who's like a really good sniper in games like COD and Warfare, and he's switching across to Helldivers now. Like, yes,
Join us.
join us, man.
Well, we're out past an hour, so I think we'll round things out for this week.
Yep.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.